So pretty much this is a song that it's not finished, it's not complete, but it's just something that I just like wrote. Um, Basically it's like this is for the boy who doesn't seem to fit in. So kings awaken in silence. They call him unstable, but chaos was never his weakness. They saw a diagnosis, but he felt an awakening. At 28, Crosswell had learned how to survive quietly, but inside it, something never slept. He sees flashes, lion eyes, claws, instincts, and ancient symbols. It's not horror, but it's clarity, kind of like visions. He could he could feel energy, false intentions, and danger before it arrived, like something ancient lived inside him. The lion was awakening. The lion was waking. He stopped asking the world to understand him. He was never losing his mind, but remembering who he was. Lion Boy Crosswell, 5/20/2026. So that's when I had written this, and this is the beat that I got off Splice. So pretty much it's just these three that are loaded. That's called the Lion's Den. But this is what I have. And I'm not perfect, and I'm just going off emotions right now. I'm not trying to like do like makeup or anything like that. Because this is like authentically me. I lost my best friend Zina. She better than had the first time. Yo, I lost my best friend Zina. She better at a beach in Ibiza. Yo, yo, this is for the boy who seemed to never fucking fit in. Okay, nah, that doesn't really sound right. Because I would need to like punch in my words. Because punching in is like you would say a line, then you'd punch in another line, and then you'd punch in another line. And that's what I would need to do here because I can't. It doesn't sound right if I just like say it all in one breath because that won't sound right. Yeah, and I guess well, I didn't guess. I wrote this song because like I clearly don't fit in anywhere, and I'd rather just be within myself and just believe in myself to be better, to be someone that people can actually listen to and actually hear me as I speak. Not just doing a fake, like, yeah, I'm listening, but actually take time to listen to what I'm saying. Because what I want to give an example is that I had this like situation with my acting manager, and I was expressing frustration of how the store was being run. The priorities are not being prioritized. And I was literally telling him, listen to what I'm saying, not just sitting there and just agreeing with me. Listen to what I'm saying. Is my voice not cracking down to what I'm actually saying to you? Like, I don't know what it is. I feel like the vibration of the frequencies are not connecting when someone's not listening to you because it just seems like you're talking to like a wall itself. And what you're trying to say is just bounces off because they're not even like actually listening to what you're saying. That means that they don't care. And that's what I'm finding out. Because I worked at the Bellevue Mall and I'm not going to go back there ever again. Because the fact that he called security on me, and this is, I explained this in another video, that I got called, well, security was called on me to like escort me out of the store, of the place that I work, of how hard I put so much determination, drive, empathy, growth, and strength into that place to learn as much as I could. The fact that I was even trying to like obtain new knowledge on how to become an official visual merchandiser, I was being ignored. I sent the message to the regional visual merchandiser. He's seen the message and choose to not answer me. I sent a message to the higher ups and how to transfer to another store because like I was tired of the store in this first place and I need to be in a new environment. Ignored, but she's responding to the end of day reports, but not to my message specifically. And I only asked one specific question: how do I start the process to transfer to another store? And I'm not going into like the details and the very specifics of everything because that is not the entire point of what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do is get this like in a way that you'll understand of how frustrated I am. In the previous video, I was so distraught and so disheveled of like what even happened. Considering I have a mental condition, schizophrenia, which I had communicated to everyone in the store, hence the way that I have been doing the things that I've been doing. Every person in that store, I will not ever look at them ever again. I will never see them in the same way that they saw me, how I left the store. I will not come back into that store ever again, into Boss in general. All I wanted was just to potentially be a boss model. I was wearing clothes in a boss way, considering I had watched the fashion shows for Boss because they had done a futuristic kind of fashion show with different models. There was even like a model that had like a disability with like I believe he didn't have his arm or leg, and there was another Boss fashion show for the Paradox. I take fashion very seriously, and I had dressed in a specific type of way, introducing like a new kind of silhouette, or maybe it wasn't a new silhouette, but I was wearing it in my specific style. And I posted it on my Instagram and TikTok. But I'm not posting on TikTok again. I'm not posting Boss at all anymore. Even though I'm wearing a Boss hat, it's not going to be for Boss. It's being for BB, for BB28 from Death Stranding. That's what it reminds me of. Because if you saw the game, or if you played the game, and I had made a video about this before with all these guys doing Ludens, was based off the game of Death Stranding. BB28 was like Hope, and her name was Tomorrow. Because in Death Stranding 2, that's when BB28 actually grew up to be Hope, like a beacon of hope, a beacon of light, to stop like what was happening within the game. She was the answer. And when I say answer, I was even proposing new ideas and new solutions to like how the store could be better, considering like I'm an employee there. And the fact that I was being ignored, not even listened to, I was being unheard. When I take fashion very seriously, I come from a fashion background. If you saw me doing the things that I was doing in the store, I was doing things in a way that would actually get more customers into the store. I was wearing Boss in a Hugo way. And if you are considering buying from Boss, like it's Hugo and Boss. It's still Hugo Boss, but Hugo is more for Jin Hugo. Hugo is more for like the young generation. That it's a state of mind. It's learning something like an artist and breaking it like a pro. It's like actually getting outside of like what's the normal, what's the standard, what's like the status quo. It's being your own authentic self, but still being Boss. But Boss is more for like the millennials. Basic silhouettes, simple colors, simple designs. With Hugo, there's like graphic prints, different types of styles. It's more edgy. I'm more Hugo. So I was wearing Boss clothes in a Hugo way. And I had made posts on Instagram about like how I was actually dressing to become a model. And I had even posted a video hoping one day I'll be a Boss model. Actually wearing like an actual suit with a tie. And that was doing when I was sick with a black mask, with no audio, but powered by God. I didn't need audio in that video. I just wanted my walk to actually just like speak for itself. I was doing runway walking, practicing my runway walking in the store itself because like with the way the interior design of the place looked, it looked professional, it looked clean, it looked aesthetically pleasing. That's why I was making content the way I was doing. And people commenting in the comments about on TikTok saying like this is the job that he gave, or this is like the job that like he got or something like that. People are making. Of course, it's TikTok. Of course, it's the internet. But if people were to take in consideration, I'm an African American actually working in Boston, actually doing the content that I was actually doing, trying to make a name for myself, other than the fact that like I have a mental condition, if people could take into consideration about that, what are they doing in their lives? What are they doing to make themselves better? What are they doing for themselves to progress for the future you? What is hate? I don't understand that. Why spread hate? Because from the hate that you emit, you're just the way that I had been talked down to, looked in a way that was beneath someone. I will never respect and take that. The people who I was close to in the store, despite me wearing a boot, because I have one on right now, of wearing Boss products, Boss shoes. This is what they had done to my foot and feet, because my other foot's the same way, but I don't have it on the back of my heel. And that's why I was walking the way that I was walking. And when I was walking in the mall, I was actually hurt. And then when it was close to like actually trying to get, because I walked too far from the store, so I had to like speed walk all the way back to get there in time. Despite me being injured, and despite me having like, scratches, the blisters on my foot, you know, my toes hurt, wearing Boss shoes, because I've only been wearing Boss shoes. When I had brought it up to my manager, when I couldn't take it anymore, because I'm like, my feet hurt and I had to go to the hospital. He didn't even know the process on like what to do. And by the time the next day that I came in wearing the boot, he still hadn't found that information. He still didn't find it. All he said was, "Oh, you upgraded your gear." There was no like, "Are you okay? Like, did you go to the hospital? Like, what's going on with your foot since you're wearing a boot now?" Because when I had brought it up to him, all he did was just threw shoes in my face and said like, and pat me on the back, and I was just to go. The key word that he told me was that he was doing something on the computer, and I had brought this up to him about like my foot having like an issue. He said, I quote, "So you want me to stop me from what I'm doing to help you or to attend to you?" As an associate that's injured, wearing Boss products, and I had made this clear, and he said that you're just wearing the wrong socks. How am I wearing the wrong socks? That day I was wearing no socks because like my foot is hurting. I was even tying the shoe differently around my ankles so my foot wouldn't start slipping out of the shoe. I was also wearing Boss socks. And I had also got some socks from Nordstrom as well, the dress socks. How is it that I'm wearing socks wrong? It's the shoes itself. So these are the shoes that I had actually worn that had messed up my foot. And this is the date of when I couldn't take it anymore. And I had to write them down. So it's these shoes right here. Since we're only supposed to be wearing Boss product stuff, my feet literally hurt. This is starting to become ridiculousness. And it's like, I don't even know what to say after this. Because going through what I'm going through, you never know what someone else is going through. And I had made it very clear I had schizophrenia, a mental condition. And the way that I was acting was intentional because I wasn't being hurt, considering like I got ignored from something that I wanted to learn more of. And even from this, like I got like so that right there, I was actually helping an associate That was during work. So that like actually like cut my thumb right there. Very small. They were trying to put poles together and like they were just too slow at what they were doing and they couldn't see like they had to just do one thing. So I had quickly just like help them. And in the process of me helping them, I got cut on my thumb. There was a time where like there was like tissue paper that was behind one of like the associates and I didn't want them to slip, so I grabbed it up quickly. The things that I'm doing in silence is not being heard and spoken to light. And I'm really tired of that place and I'm tired of the associates there because no one's treating that job as like if it's like they're meant to be there. They're just there to work. And considering that I come from a fashion background and I had watched the fashion shows, and I even talked to this to the previous manager about the fashion shows, and considering I had worn a tie in a specific type of way, just saying that's not a boss way of wearing a tie. And I'm like, this is a fashion show, and I literally have been wearing things inspired from fashion shows. Considering boss, but I don't know what to say from this. From on, like, take cross out.